Yeah, pull this out here. That's fine. So now that this is the front, we're done here. The next thing we do, we create the back. We're going to borrow some assets from this logo back. Add this back here, we're going to use it. So I'm going to copy this up to here, copy and paste. So we have this base we're working with. Then I also want the name of the bank, which is this. I want this to be part of it. So I'm going to copy this along with it. Copy and then paste. Connect this to that. So we have the name of the bank there. One other thing that I want to create is a 2D version of this logo. So I'm going to have another text node. Connect that here. Drag this to the viewer. Click on text. W. Change it to Paladin's widget. Then I turn it. Try the same slant as what we have there. Go here, add a transform node. Uncheck this. Reduce the X size till we have the same slant as what we've got there. Something like that, and it's in a bit to 100. Okay. Yeah, we have what we need here. And we go to. I want this to be controlled by a single transform node, so I disconnect them from here. Move this up. Get a background node, drop the alpha to 0, connect that to here. Then I can connect this to the transform node, which is now connected to this. So that way, I lower these up a bit. Or let's just go select all of this, with down a little bit, move this up, and then I select all of this and move it together here so everything is still kind of compact. And we have this in the viewer. I want to now move this logo I just created. It's the logo. I want to put the right location. Drag this crosshair thing here. It's too large. Reduce the size. Something like that. And then move it closer. And we're good to go. Now this, I can use this transform to now move it around on the card. And just drag this down a little. Move this to 50% to see the whole card. And then we can use this transform node. We can even drag it from here to where we want. Basically, it wants to be just about the center. Then I want to have a black covering up top here. To have that, you can just simply drag a black background, connect that to this, and drag that to the viewer. I get a mask node. Rectangular mask, connect that. Reduce the height to 0.1. Then I can move it up a bit. And we are good to go on that. Now this was the bank. You see why I needed to join them all together, so I don't have to move them one by one. Because now I can move this down a wee bit more. Put a bit more space. Now I want to create that white bar where we have the need 2. To create that, I'm going to bring background node, another background node. This background node, I'm going to drop the alpha to 0, and this I'm going to put the alpha at something like this, almost white. Then I'm going to bring out another background node and make this practically white, looking like that. And now this one that is almost white, I'm going to pull this and put it on top of other transparent background. We have something like this. We pull in a mask node, connect that here. Then the mask node, the height, I'm going to drop it to 0.075, maybe even 6.5, and the width, I'm going to drop the width to 3.25. I want this other one now to have a smaller width, so I'm going to create a merge node, connect this to the foreground, connect this to the background. Let's move this up here, and then I want a situation where if you drag this to the viewer, you'll now put the rectangle mask and put that in here. The height of this, I'm going to drop it to 5.5. What was this height of this one? 0.65, okay. It's 0.55. This will be smaller. About this to the viewer. And the width, I'm going to drop it a lot. So this is 5, this is probably, let's say 3.5. 3.0.03 is better. 3 is a little small, so thing like that. And this triangle, this rectangle, I'm going to drop the width a little bit more, something like that. Then drag this to this corner there, so it sits square there. And we can now merge these people we have down there. This here, you said this here like this, and I connect this to here, and we drag this to the viewer. So we have this, but I don't like the color of this. It's not standing out from the background. But between this and here, I can add a transform node. So I drag the transform node, I put it in here, so I can position it here, just in front of the Wonder Bank. Then I want to change the color of this other background here to something brighter. Yeah, a little bit brighter. That's better. So now I need to put a text on this white part. I bring in a text node and connect this text node to this merge. Alright, DaVinci Resolve messes up the whole tree when I add nodes. It's crazy. So now I add 1, 2, 3, whatever, just a random number to make it cool here. And there it is. We change this to regular. Reduce the size considerably. Change it to black. Okay. And drag it to that part. There. So say 0.02. And you're done with the back of the card. Beautiful. It's a long process, I agree, but it's beautiful stuff to do. Let's now click on this, select everything. Let's not select this part, so I'm going to hold down Control. Drag this down a bit. And I'm going to connect all of this to an image plane. So I drag an image plane here, connect this to the image plane, and we drag this to the viewer. Now we have this as the back of the card. Now, one other thing that we could do is make the engraving that shows here show at the back of the card. That would be making this project a little bit complex. So for now, I'm going to let that slide so we don't make it unnecessarily painful. So I'm just going to select all this, right click, group, rename this to the back. Add this down, select all this, right click on it, group, rename to front. We have the front and the back, and let's drag a merge node, connect both of them here and here. One other thing we need to have done for the image planes for each of these groups is to make it that the back of the front doesn't show, and then this back, I don't want the front of it to show. Let me show you what I mean. Double click on this to expand it. I go to image plane, go to visibility. Call means do not show it, so I don't want the back of this to show. I close this, I go to back, double click on it, go to image plane, go to visibility. I do not want the front to show. But also one other thing I should have done, let me drag this here, I should click here and add a transform node. This transform node, I need to flip the image, because by the time I flip this card, it will be showing me a flipped version of the image, so I have to flip the image ahead of time. Let me show you what I mean. Let me uncheck this flip. Let's go to the merge. This merge is what's showing here, and I want to rotate it to see what I mean. I hold down the middle mouse button and hold down Alt on the keyboard. So you see what I mean? The back is showing Wonder Bank inverted. All this will be corrected. I just need to move the image planes a little bit. But you see, this is inverted. See, the Wonder Bank is inverted. But if I click on transform and I flip it, then it's displaying correctly at the back. Okay, so let's close this. Now for this front, I want to move it a little. I add a transform 3D node. Control space bar, transform 3D, add. Okay, we're good to go, and we have this whole thing. Let's drag this down a bit so we see what we're working with.